There's one powerful truth most people never face. No one is coming to rescue you. Your life will start to transform only when you decide to channel every ounce of your energy where it truly belongs on you. Every dream you chase, every goal you desire to achieve, every future you imagine living, all depends on one thing: how deeply you're willing to invest your focus in yourself, without distractions, without excuses, without waiting for anyone's approval. You must strengthen yourself to the point where failure can't shake you, and rejection can't slow you down. The world always honors those who learn to master their inner world, not the ones who complain, and not the ones who wait. Here's the truth that changes everything. The moment you make yourself your #1 project, life starts opening doors you never thought existed. Those who truly win are the ones who stay obsessed with their own growth, their own purpose, their own path. Focus entirely on you until you rise, because if you don't, nobody else will. Today might be the turning point, the day you stop searching for answers outside and begin creating the life you deserve, from the inside out. Stay tuned, because this could be the single most life-changing decision you'll ever make. Chapter 1. Focus fully on building your strongest self. Every day, you have to focus fully on building your strongest self. You cannot afford to take days off when it comes to building yourself. Life isn't slowing down for anyone. Every day you waste, every moment you let slip away without working on yourself, it compounds against you. You either build the life you want, or you drift further into the life you don't. Most people never win because they never stay focused on themselves long enough. They're too busy watching others, too busy comparing, too busy getting distracted. The greatest gift you can give yourself is daily commitment. Commitment to getting stronger. Commitment to becoming wiser. Commitment to becoming more disciplined. And it's not something you do once in a while. It's something you decide to do every single day, whether you feel like it or not. It all starts with a decision. You must decide that you're not going to let another day slip through your fingers. You must decide that you're going to work harder on yourself than you do on anything else. Your strongest self is not going to build itself. Your mind is not going to sharpen itself. Your discipline is not going to fall from the sky. You are responsible. You are the one who has to make it happen. And it starts small. It starts with 1 hour of reading instead of scrolling. It starts with 1 workout instead of making excuses. It starts with saying no to junk food and yes to something that fuels your body. It starts with sitting down in a quiet room and setting real goals for your life. The small decisions you make each day build your strongest self, brick by brick. But you must stay with it. You cannot just work on yourself when life feels easy. You have to do it when it's hard, when you're tired, when you're discouraged, when no one claps for you, when the results are invisible. That's when the real work is happening. That's when you're laying down the foundation for a future nobody can take away from you. Strength is built in the silence. Strength is built in the struggle. Strength is built when nobody's watching. Your strongest self is not built on good intentions, it's built on action. You have to be the one who shows up for yourself every day. No excuses, no blaming, no waiting for motivation. Motivation isn't coming to save you. You have to save yourself through consistency. Consistency is the real secret. It's not fancy. It's not exciting every day, but it's powerful, and it works. Every day that you choose yourself, you get 1 step closer to your dreams. Every day that you focus on your growth, your power grows with it. The results may not come overnight, but they will come. The world rewards the people who stay focused when everyone else gives up. The world rewards the people who bet on themselves, even when the odds look impossible. You have to get honest with yourself. Are you building yourself, or are you distracting yourself? Are you pushing yourself forward, or letting life push you around? It's a hard question, but the answer will set you free. If you're not getting stronger, you're getting weaker. If you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. There's no standing still in this life. Growth is not a choice, it's a requirement. You have to protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Focus is your superpower in a world built to distract you. Every notification, every meaningless piece of news, every negative voice is trying to steal your future from you. You have to stand guard at the door of your mind and decide what gets your attention. Your attention is sacred. Your attention builds your life. When you focus fully on building your strongest self every day, you start to see the world differently. You stop chasing approval. You stop needing permission. You stop wasting time explaining yourself to people who will never understand your dreams. You stop feeling guilty for wanting more out of life. You stand firm in who you are and who you're becoming. You must understand, nobody is coming to build you up. Nobody is responsible for making you strong. That's your job. And it's the most important job you'll ever have. You have to respect yourself enough to put in the work. To sacrifice temporary comfort for lasting power. To choose growth over fitting in. To build a future so strong that you can stand proud in it, no matter what storms come your way. Every morning you wake up is another opportunity to build yourself, another opportunity to make yourself strong, another opportunity to prove to yourself that you're serious about your future. You cannot waste these days. You cannot treat them like they're endless. They're not. Every day is a building block. Every day is a piece of the foundation. Every day matters. And the beauty of focusing on yourself is this. When you get stronger, everything gets better. Your relationships get better. Your health gets better. Your finances get better. Your confidence gets better. But it starts with you. It always starts with you. If you focus on you until you win, one day you'll look back and realize that winning wasn't even the real prize. The real prize was who you became in the process. Your strongest self is waiting on the other side of discipline, on the other side of sacrifice, on the other side of consistency. And you have what it takes. You have everything you need already inside you. You don't need to be more talented. You don't need someone to rescue you. You need to commit to yourself at a level you never have before. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Focus fully on building your strongest self today. And then wake up tomorrow and do it again. Stack those days together. Stack those wins together. And watch how your life transforms. Watch how your confidence grows. Watch how your strength becomes unbreakable. This is how you win. You don't win by hoping. You don't win by luck. You win by focusing fully on you every single day. You win by showing up for yourself, no matter what. You win by refusing to quit when it gets hard. You win by doing the work most people are too lazy to do. Focus on you until you win. Because if you don't, nobody else will. Every day there is noise, opinions flying around, distractions that want your energy, voices telling you what you should do and who you should be. If you're not careful, you can spend your whole life living for other people's expectations. You can lose yourself, trying to keep up with a world that doesn't even know who you are. That's why training your mind to ignore the noise is not just important, it's necessary. You have a limited amount of attention. You cannot give it to everything and everyone. If you do, you'll have nothing left for yourself. Your dreams will dry up. Your energy will fade. Your confidence will crumble because you cannot build a strong mind if you're constantly allowing noise to get inside it. You have to protect your mind like you protect your most valuable possession, because that's exactly what it is. The world will always have something to say. People will always have opinions. But opinions do not build your life. Opinions do not pay your bills. Friends, opinions do not create your future. Your actions do. Your choices do. Your daily focus does. The minute you start listening to every opinion, you lose your power. You start questioning yourself. You start doubting your path. You start moving slower. You start shrinking your vision just to fit into someone else's small thinking. Training your mind to ignore the noise is about building inner strength. It's about becoming so rooted in your own vision that the outside world cannot shake you. It's about knowing who you are so clearly that nothing anyone says can pull you off your path. It's not about arrogance, it's about clarity. It's about understanding that your life is too important to be hijacked by other people's doubts or fears. The first step is to get clear on what matters. When you know what you're working toward, it gets easier to spot the noise. Not every comment needs your attention. Not every distraction deserves your energy. You have to decide what is worth your time and what is not. If it doesn't push you closer to your vision, it's noise. If it doesn't help you grow stronger, it's noise. If it drains your energy instead of building it, it's noise. You must become ruthless about your focus. You must protect your mind from negativity, from gossip, from jealousy, from comparison, from fear. You cannot allow yourself to get dragged into meaningless battles. You cannot waste your time explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You cannot live your life trying to meet standards that aren't even your own. That is how dreams die. That is how great potential is wasted. Train your mind to be quiet when the world gets loud. Learn to hear your own voice above the noise. Learn to trust your own instincts, even when nobody else understands. Strength comes from knowing that you do not need validation to move forward. You do not need permission to follow your path. You do not need approval to chase your dreams. The only voice you need to answer to is the one inside you that knows you were made for more. There will always be critics. There will always be doubters. There will always be people who think you're foolish for believing in something bigger. That's not your problem. Their noise is their problem. Your problem is whether you allow it into your mind. Your responsibility is to keep your mind clean. Keep it strong. Keep it focused. That is your job. That is how you protect your future. When you train your mind to ignore the outside noise, you move faster. You think clearer. You feel lighter. You stop carrying the weight of other people's opinions. You stop apologizing for wanting more out of life. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You start living with a power that does not fade just because someone else is uncomfortable with it. Training your mind is not about pretending that the noise isn't there. It's about seeing it for what it is and choosing not to give it your energy. It's about saying, I hear it, but it's not for me. It's about staying locked in on your goals, no matter what the outside world throws at you. It's about building a mind so strong that it can handle rejection, criticism, failure, setbacks, and still keep moving forward without losing belief. Every day is a new test. Every day you will be tempted to react, to defend yourself, to explain yourself, to seek approval. But every time you rise above that temptation, you get stronger. Every time you ignore the meaningless noise and choose focus instead, you sharpen your mind. You build a mindset that is not easily shaken. You build a mind that can stand in the middle of chaos and still see clearly where it's going. There is great freedom in this. When you no longer need the world to understand you, you are free. When you no longer need constant validation, you are free. When you no longer let criticism define you, you are free. That freedom gives you the ability to chase your highest potential without being slowed down by doubts that do not belong to you. You must make a decision today. Decide that your dreams are too important to be sacrificed for noise. Decide that your peace is more valuable than winning arguments. Decide that your energy is too sacred to be spent on things that do not build you. Every day you practice this, you get closer to mastery. Every day you guard your mind, you move closer to a life you can be proud of. Focus is a daily choice. Strength is a daily choice. Peace is a daily choice. You have the power to make that choice. You have the power to say no to the noise. You have the power to say yes to your future. It will not always be easy. Some days, the noise will feel louder. Some days, the distractions will seem endless. Some days, the pressure to listen to the crowd will be strong. But you must be stronger. You must remind yourself why you started. You must remind yourself what is at stake. You must remind yourself that greatness is never built by following the crowd. Greatness is built by those who have the courage to walk alone if they have to. Greatness is built by those who know that silence is sometimes louder than words. You are responsible for the life you build. You are responsible for the energy you allow around you. You are responsible for the mindset you carry into every day. And the stronger your mind becomes, the clearer your path becomes. The clearer your path becomes, the faster you move. The faster you move, the closer you get to the life you were meant to live. The outside noise will not go away. It will always be there. But you will be different. You will be stronger. You will be wiser. You will be focused. You will not bend every time the wind blows. You will not fall apart every time someone criticizes you. You will not lose yourself chasing approval. That does not even matter in the end. Train your mind until you can hear the noise and keep walking anyway. Train your mind until you can stand tall in your own truth. Train your mind until you no longer need anyone else to tell you that you are on the right path, because you will know it. Deep down, you will know it. This is your time. This is your life. Do not waste it listening to the noise. Focus on building the future you deserve. Focus on becoming the person you were meant to be. Focus on staying true to yourself, no matter how loud the outside world gets. And if you stay true, if you stay focused, you will win. Because the world cannot stop a mind that refuses to give up. There comes a point where you realize, if you do not fight for your dreams, nobody else will. People may care about you. They may love you. But they cannot see the fire inside you. They cannot understand the vision that only you were given. And when you chase something bigger than what is comfortable, there will always be those who doubt you. It is not their job to believe. It is yours. When nobody believes in you, you have a choice. You can shrink back and accept their limited expectations, or you can rise up and fight harder because you know that what you are building is bigger than what they can see. Many great lives were almost destroyed because someone close said, "You can't do it." You have to understand, belief is not a requirement for others. It is a responsibility for yourself. Fighting for your dreams is lonely work. You will sit in rooms by yourself, wondering if you are crazy for wanting more. You will have mornings where doubt presses against your chest like a weight. You will have nights when you question whether all this effort is even worth it. And you will have people who tell you to stop, who tell you to be realistic, who tell you to lower your expectations and accept what life gives you. But if you listen to them, you will lose the very thing that makes you different. You will lose your fire. And once that fire goes out, it's hard to bring it back. You were not born to blend in. You were not born to live a life that feels good enough. You were born to build something that sets your soul on fire. And that fire will scare people who gave up on their own dreams. It will make them uncomfortable because it reminds them of what they lost. But you cannot dim your light just to make others comfortable in their darkness. When no one believes in you, believe anyway. When no one supports you, keep going anyway. When no one understands you, trust yourself anyway. Because that's how every great story begins. Every legend, every success, every transformation begins with one person who refused to give up, even when nobody else believed. When you fight for your dreams, you will feel alone at times. But that loneliness is not a punishment. It's preparation. It's teaching you how to stand on your own. It's showing you what real strength looks like. It's building the foundation for a mind that cannot be broken. Understand this, your dream chose you for a reason. It could have chosen anyone, but it chose you. That means you have something inside you that others don't. You have the patience, the courage, the heart, the fire. You might not have all the answers yet. You might not know every step ahead, but you have what it takes to figure it out as you go. And that's enough. You don't need to know everything right now. You don't need the perfect plan. You just need the courage to keep moving. Every step you take builds momentum. Every failure you face builds resilience. Every time you get back up after being knocked down, you become stronger than before. The truth is, nobody owes you belief. Nobody owes you support. Nobody owes you encouragement. This is your dream, your responsibility, your fight. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you you're capable. Start telling yourself. Stop waiting for validation. Start creating results. Because the moment you prove it to yourself is the moment the world starts to notice. You have to fight when it's hard. You have to fight when it's lonely. You have to fight when it feels like everything is falling apart. Because that's when growth happens. That's when your character is being built. That's when the universe is testing how badly you really want it. And if you keep showing up, if you keep fighting, if you keep believing, even when no one else does, you will break through. It may take longer than you hoped. It may cost more than you expected. But when it happens, it will be worth every sleepless night, every tear, every doubt, every setback. Because you will know, you earned it. You will know that you built it from nothing. You will know that it was not luck. It was discipline, grit, and faith. The people who once doubted you will look at you differently. Some will be proud, some will be jealous, and some will pretend they always believed in you. But none of that will matter, because you'll know the truth. You didn't make it because of them. You made it in spite of them. And that's power. That's what fighting for your dream gives you. A strength that cannot be taken away. A confidence that does not depend on applause. A peace that comes from knowing you never gave up on yourself. So if you're tired, rest, but don't quit. If you're scared, move anyway. If you're doubting yourself, remind yourself why you started. There's a reason you can't stop thinking about your dream. There's a reason you feel it so deeply. It's because it belongs to you. So fight for it. Even if you're the only one who sees it, fight for it. Even when it hurts, fight for it. even when it feels impossible, because one day, it won't be impossible anymore. One day, the same people who doubted you will ask how you did it. And you'll smile because you'll know the answer. You did it because you refused to stop. You did it because you believed when no one else did. You did it because you fought when others gave up. And that is what makes you unstoppable. Fight for your dreams. Fight when it's hard. Fight when it's lonely. Fight when it feels like nobody sees you. Fight because you owe it to yourself. Fight because you were made for more. Fight because someday the world will look at you and say, "I see it now." But you won't need their validation then, because you'll already be living the dream you built with your own 2 hands. If you want anything real to happen in your life, you have to show up for yourself every single day, not once in a while, not when it's convenient, not only when you feel excited. Every single day. Because the life you're after is not built on moments of motivation. It's built on daily commitment. It's built when you choose to do the work, even when nobody is watching and nobody is clapping. Most people miss their dreams, not because they lack potential, but because they're inconsistent. They show up on Monday, but disappear by Friday. They work hard for a week, then fall off for a month. They commit when it's easy and run when it gets tough. You can't live like that if you want to win. You must become the kind of person who shows up whether it feels good or not. You have to be able to trust yourself. If you say you're going to do it, do it. If you set a goal, chase it every day without waiting for someone else to remind you. The world rewards people who are consistent. Life opens doors for those who stay in the fight. Success is attracted to those who keep moving, even on the slow days, the boring days, the painful days. When you show up for yourself daily, you build a kind of self-respect that nobody can take away. You stop needing praise to keep going. You stop waiting for signs that it's working. You stop depending on the outside world to tell you that you're enough. Because you already know you're enough, you prove it to yourself every single day through your actions. Showing up isn't about being perfect. It's not about doing everything right. It's about being there for yourself when it counts. It's about pushing forward, even when progress feels slow. It's about understanding that one small step forward is better than standing still for another day, is better than standing still for another day, waiting for motivation to rescue you. The truth is, there will be days when you don't feel like doing anything. Days when the bed feels heavier. Days when the excuses feel louder. Days when the finish line feels so far away that you wonder if the effort is even worth it. But those are the days that matter most. Those are the days that separate the dreamers from the doers. Those are the days when you prove to yourself that your future matters more than your feelings. You must train yourself to become reliable, not just to others, but to yourself. Be the kind of person and who can count on yourself to show up and do the work. Because if you can't trust yourself, everything else falls apart. You'll break your own promises. You'll set goals you never reach. You'll lose faith in your own potential. But every time you show up for yourself, you build trust. Every time you follow through on a small commitment, you strengthen your foundation. And over time, that foundation becomes unshakable. Eventually, you stop needing willpower to show up. Because showing up becomes who you are. It becomes your identity. It becomes automatic. You can't expect results without consistency. You can't expect growth without discipline. You can't expect change without effort. Dreams require more than desire. They require action, not once, not twice, every single day, in big ways and small ways, in visible ways and invisible ways. It all counts. It all matters. The people who succeed are not the ones who had the easiest path. They're not the ones who got lucky breaks. They're the ones who kept showing up after everyone else got tired. They're the ones who kept practicing their craft when nobody was paying attention. They're the ones who stayed committed to the process, even when the results were slow. Every day you wake up is a new opportunity to show up stronger. Every day you wake up, you have a fresh chance to make yourself proud. Every day you wake up, you're writing the story of your life through your actions. Will today be another wasted page? Or will it be a page you can look back on with pride? You owe it to yourself to show up. You owe it to the future you've been dreaming about. You owe it to the vision that keeps pulling at your heart. You owe it to the younger version of you, who once believed it was possible. You owe it to the person you are becoming. And it doesn't have to be grand gestures. It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It's easy to show up when it's fun. It's easy to show up when you're seeing results. It's easy to show up when people are cheering for you. But real winners show up when nobody notices. Real winners show up when the results are invisible. Real winners show up when it feels like the world has forgotten about them. If you can master the art of showing up daily, you can build anything. You can transform your health. You can build wealth. You can create a life you're proud to live. But it all begins and ends with whether or not you're willing to show up for yourself. Nobody else can do this part for you. Nobody else can clock the hours. Nobody else can endure the grind. It has to be you. You have to look in the mirror and say, I didn't quit today. I didn't let my feelings control me today. I chose my future over my comfort. There's no secret formula. There's no magic shortcut. There's only the day-to-day grind of doing what needs to be done, even when you'd rather take the easy way out. And every time you do it, every time you show up anyway, you build a little more strength, a little more resilience, a little more belief. One day, you'll look around and realize everything you dreamed of having is now your reality. And it won't be because you got lucky. It won't be because someone handed it to you. It'll be because you showed up for yourself every single day when nobody else could see the vision but you. You are writing your future with every choice you make. So make it a masterpiece. Make it something you can be proud of. Make it a life that reflects the strength it took to keep showing up, even when quitting would have been easier. Show up for yourself, not once, not sometimes, every day. Chapter 5. Cut out every distraction that weakens your focus. The world today isn't short on opportunity. It's short on focus. It's easy to start something, but it's harder to stay with it long enough to finish. Every day, there are 100 things pulling at your mind, your time, your energy. If you don't get serious about eliminating distractions, they will slowly eat away your future. Focus isn't something you find. Focus is something you build. You build it by protecting it. You build it by cutting out anything that weakens it. You have dreams to achieve, goals to reach, a life to build. You cannot afford to lose hours on things that don't matter. You can't let your attention be stolen by every meaningless notification, every opinion that crosses your path, every temptation to escape into something easier than doing the real work. Every distraction comes with a cost, and that cost is your future. If you're not in control of your attention, someone else is. If you're not deciding where your energy goes, the world will decide for you. And the world doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care about your goals. It cares about taking your time and giving you nothing in return. You have to be smarter than that. You have to see distractions for what they are. thieves. They steal your time, your energy, your focus, your future. Cutting out distractions isn't just about being more productive. It's about being more alive. It's about taking back ownership of your life. It's about refusing to live as a slave to interruptions, gossip, mindless scrolling, entertainment that adds nothing to your growth. It's about standing up and saying, "My life matters too much to be wasted." The first step to cutting out distractions is to be brutally honest with yourself. What's stealing your focus every day? Where are you losing hours without even realizing it? What habits are draining you without giving anything back? You can't fix what you won't face. You have to confront the truth of how you're spending your time. The second step is to create an environment that supports your goals. Your environment should push you toward focus, not away from it. Clean up your space, remove the clutter, turn off the noise, block the temptations. Make it easier to do the right thing and harder to do the wrong thing. You can't expect to stay focused in an environment built for distraction. You must also protect your mental space. Not every conversation deserves your time. Not every argument is worth engaging in. Not every negative opinion needs a response. You have to guard your peace like your future depends on it, because it does. Every time you get pulled into something that doesn't serve you, you're losing momentum. If you're giving away pieces of yourself that should be reserved for your real mission, it's not enough to say you want to focus. You have to create a system that makes it possible. Set clear work times, turn off notifications, limit your exposure to things that pull your mind away from what matters. Make a real commitment to yourself. If you can't do it all day, start with an hour. Start with one focused session a day, and build from there. Momentum is built one decision at a time. Every distraction you remove is a gift to your future self. Every temptation you resist is an investment in your future strength. Every time you choose focus over ease, you're sharpening your mind, strengthening your discipline, and moving one step closer to the life you were born to live. It all matters. It all adds up. Distractions aren't just outside of you. They're inside too. Self-doubt is a distraction. Overthinking is a distraction. Worrying about what others think is a distraction. Fear of failure is a distraction. You must learn to quiet the inner noise just as much as the outer. You must learn to refocus your mind when it starts wandering toward fear and doubt. You must be able to say to yourself, "This is not helping me." And then bring your focus back to your work. Building a life worth living requires more than talent. It requires endurance. It requires the ability to stay with a thing long after the excitement fades. It requires the ability to keep putting in the work when nobody's watching and no immediate rewards are coming. That kind of endurance can only exist if you're ruthless about eliminating distractions. You'll have to make sacrifices. You'll have to say no to things others say yes to. You'll have to miss out on some conversations, some parties, some trends. You'll have to endure the feeling of missing out. But in the end, you'll realize you didn't miss anything important. You'll realize that the only thing worth chasing was your own potential. The truth is, the real battle isn't out there. It's in here, inside your own mind. Can you keep your eyes on your vision when the world tries to pull you away? Can you stay true to your work when entertainment is one click away? Can you keep moving forward when distractions are disguised as opportunities? That's the test. That's what separates the ones who wish from the ones who achieve. Every time you choose to focus, you're choosing your future over your feelings. Every time you say no to a distraction, you're saying yes to your dream. Every time you close a door to something meaningless, you open a door to something powerful. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. It's about being clear on what you're building and fierce about protecting the path that gets you there. Nobody's coming to organize your time for you. Nobody's going to clear your schedule. Nobody's going to make you turn off the noise. That's your responsibility. That's your power. That's your opportunity to take control of your mind, your focus, your future. The day you decide to cut out every distraction that weakens your focus is the day everything starts to change. You start seeing progress faster. You start feeling more confident. You start waking up with more energy. You start living with more purpose. Because now, you're not wasting your strength fighting battles that don't matter. There's no secret to high achievement. There's only clear focus, applied daily. There's only consistent action, fueled by disciplined energy. There's only the relentless removal of anything that tries to pull you off course. That's how dreams are built. That's how lives are transformed. You don't have to be smarter than everyone else. You don't have to be luckier. You don't even have to be more talented. But you must be more focused. You must be more disciplined. You must be more determined to protect your time, your energy, your mind. This is your season. To be sharper. This is your time to be stricter about what you allow into your life. This is your moment to decide that nothing and no one will pull you away from the future you're building. Cut it out. If it weakens your focus, cut it out. If it steals your time, cut it out. If it drains your energy, cut it out. If it dims your light, cut it out. Your dream deserves your full strength. Your future deserves your full attention. Stay locked in, stay committed, stay focused, because the life you want is on the other side of the distractions you're willing to eliminate today. Chapter 6. Own your life without blaming anyone for anything. There comes a moment when you have to make a serious decision about your life. You have to decide whether you're going to keep pointing the finger or whether you're going to take full responsibility for everything you want to change until you own your life without blaming anyone for anything. When you don't, you stay stuck. You stay powerless. You stay behind. The day you own it all is the day you start taking real control over your future. Blame is easy. It feels good for a moment. It makes you believe that your failures aren't your fault. It gives you an excuse to stay where you are. But the cost of blame is far too high. When you blame others, you hand them control over your life. When you point fingers, you give away your ability to fix it. As long as it's someone else's fault, you have no power to change it. Owning your life is about taking full responsibility for your decisions, your habits, your mindset, and your outcomes. It's not about blaming yourself harshly. It's about recognizing that you have the power to make new choices. Starting today, you are not stuck. You are not helpless. You are not broken beyond repair. You are simply standing at a crossroads where ownership will take you forward and blame will hold you back. When you stop blaming, you start building. When you stop making excuses, you start creating solutions. When you stop seeing yourself as a victim, you start acting like a leader. That shift changes everything. Suddenly, the obstacles aren't final anymore. The mistakes aren't the end anymore. They're lessons. They're tools. They're building blocks for the future you're determined to create. It doesn't matter how unfair your starting point was. It doesn't matter what setbacks you faced. It doesn't matter what someone else did or didn't do. What matters now is what you decide to do with it. You can't rewrite the past, but you can shape the future. You can turn every disadvantage into strength. You can use every failure as training. You can let every setback fuel your drive instead of becoming your excuse. The strongest people you'll ever meet are the ones who stopped blaming a long time ago. They don't waste time complaining about how hard it is. They don't sit around wishing things were different. They get up every day and work with what they have. They build, they move forward, they focus on solutions. They take ownership over every part of their journey. Taking ownership means facing uncomfortable truths. It means admitting when you've been lazy. It means recognizing when you've let fear make your decisions. It means seeing clearly where you've fallen short, not to beat yourself up, but to get better. Real change starts with real honesty, not the kind you tell others, the kind you tell yourself when no one else is around. Every time you take responsibility for your life, you take back your power. You stop waiting for someone else to save you. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop wasting time hoping someone else will make it easier. You step into the driver's seat. You start steering your life in the direction you want to go. And that is when things start to shift. Nobody owes you your dream. Nobody is responsible for handing you success. It's your job to show up for yourself every day. It's your job to work through the hard days. It's your job to stay focused when life gets messy. It's your job to keep moving when nobody else is clapping. Your life is your responsibility from start to finish. It might not be your fault that you were knocked down, but it is your responsibility to get back up. It might not be your fault that life was unfair, but it is your responsibility to rise above it. It might not be your fault that someone hurt you, but it is your responsibility to heal and move forward. Responsibility isn't about fault, it's about ownership. It's about deciding that no matter what happened, you are still in control of what happens next. You have to let go of the idea that someone else is holding you back. Nobody has that kind of power over you unless you give it to them. Circumstances are real, challenges are real, but so is your ability to rise. So is your ability to adapt. So is your ability to create a new path forward when the old one is blocked. The people who live powerful lives aren't the ones who had the easiest path. They're the ones who refused to let anything outside of them decide their future. They're the ones who owned their strengths, owned their weaknesses, owned their choices, and kept building anyway. They're the ones who realized that blaming never built anything worth having. It's easy to find reasons why you're not where you want to be. It's easy to point to other people, the economy, or your past. But every minute spent blaming is a minute you could have spent building. Every moment spent making excuses is a moment you could have used to make progress. The cost is too high. The trade-off is too painful. You can't afford to waste your life blaming anyone for anything. Ownership is freedom. When you own your life, you realize that every step forward is in your hands. Every improvement is within your reach. Every level of growth is something you can chase. You stop waiting for things to get easier. You stop hoping someone else will make it better. You step into your own strength and start shaping your own destiny. It's not about being perfect. It's about being responsible. It's about showing up for yourself, even when you feel like hiding. It's about putting one foot in front of the other, even when you're carrying the weight of past mistakes. It's about believing that your best days aren't behind you, but ahead of you. If you're willing to own the path forward, you owe it to yourself to take full ownership of your journey. You owe it to the future version of yourself that's counting on you not to quit. You owe it to the dreams placed inside you for a reason. You owe it to every part of you that still believes in something greater. Own your decisions. Own your habits. Own your mindset. Own your outcomes. Good or bad, easy or hard, expected or unexpected. Own it all, because the moment you own it all is the moment you gain the power to change it all. Life isn't about what happens to you. It's about what you decide to do about it. It's about how you choose to respond. It's about the standards you set for yourself. It's about the effort you bring, even when nobody else is looking. There's no stronger foundation you can build than one made of full responsibility. No shortcuts, no excuses, no blame. Just ownership, just courage, just relentless forward motion. And if you stay committed to owning your life, without blaming anyone for anything, you'll build a life so strong that no setback can destroy it. You'll build a future so powerful that no outside force can tear it down. This is your life. Own it. Live it. Build it without blaming anyone else for where you are, because the power has always been yours. Chapter 7. Push yourself harder when you feel like quitting. There will always come a time when the idea of quitting seems easier than continuing. It doesn't matter how big your dream is. It doesn't matter how strong you started. There will be days when the journey feels heavier than your strength. Those are the days that define you. Those are the moments when your future is decided. Because everyone feels like quitting. But not everyone chooses to push harder when it happens. The reason most people never reach their full potential isn't because they lack talent. It's because when the pressure comes, they retreat. When the discomfort grows, they look for a way out. When it feels like nothing is working, they believe the lie that says, "It's not worth it anymore." But success doesn't belong to those who move when it's easy. It belongs to those who keep moving when every part of them wants to stop. You can't allow temporary feelings to decide your permanent future. Feelings come and go. Some mornings you'll wake up full of energy. Some days, you'll feel tired before you even begin. But your future isn't built on how you feel. It's built on how you act. When it's hard to act, it's built on the decisions you make when the fire inside you flickers instead of roars. Pushing harder doesn't mean pretending everything is easy. It means accepting that pain is part of the process and choosing to press forward anyway. It means recognizing that the greatest victories come after the greatest struggles. It means understanding that feeling like quitting is not a signal to stop. It's a signal to dig deeper, to find a new level of strength you didn't know you had. When you hit a wall, most people slow down. Most people give up. Most people settle for average. But not you. You must train yourself to see the wall as a challenge, not a stop sign. You must see the struggle as confirmation that you're on the right path. Because real growth only happens when you're stretched beyond what's comfortable. Every champion was once at a breaking point. Every winner once faced a moment where quitting seemed smarter, easier, safer. But they pushed harder. They didn't let temporary exhaustion write the ending to their story. They found a way to give just a little more. When it felt like they had nothing left, they decided that pain would not have the final word. They decided that difficulty would not be the reason they stopped. You have to be stronger than the voice inside your head that tells you it's not worth it. You have to be wiser than the emotions that beg you to quit. You have to be loyal to your future, not your comfort. Because comfort will lie to you. Comfort will seduce you into giving up everything you've worked for, just to feel good in the moment. And every time you choose comfort over commitment, you move further away from the life you deserve. There's a moment in every great pursuit where the easy thing to do is quit. That moment is the gatekeeper between those who dream and those who achieve. If you can push harder at the moment when you want to quit most, you can push through anything. If you can find the strength to take one more step, to give one more ounce of effort, to hold the line for one more day, you'll discover a new version of yourself that is unstoppable. The temptation to quit is loud. It tells you that you're wasting your time. It tells you that it's too hard, It tells you that it's not worth it. But the truth is the exact opposite. If it wasn't worth it, it wouldn't require so much from you. If it wasn't important, it wouldn't test you this hard. The size of the struggle is proof of the size of the reward on the other side. When you feel like quitting, step back and remember why you started. Remember the vision that set your heart on fire. Remember the promises you made to yourself when you were full of hope. Remember the future you imagined, the one that's still possible if you refuse to quit now. The reason you feel like quitting? It is because you're closer than you think. It's because the breakthrough is just beyond exhaustion, just beyond the doubt, just beyond the pain. You must build the habit of pushing yourself one more step beyond where you would normally stop. You must train yourself to go a little further every time you feel the urge to quit. One more rep, one more page, one more call, one more hour. Those extra moments are what separate the average from the great. Those extra moments are where greatness is born. Nobody will do this part for you. Nobody will push for you. Nobody will save you when it gets hard. This is where you save yourself. This is where you rise on your own strength. This is where you prove to yourself that you are serious about your dreams. And once you prove it to yourself, nobody can take it away. Every time you push harder when you feel like quitting, you build something inside you that's priceless. You build mental toughness. You build emotional resilience. You build a character that doesn't crumble under pressure. You build a foundation strong enough to hold the weight of real success. The people who win are not superhuman. They're simply the ones who kept showing up after they wanted to quit. They're the ones who pushed through one more time. They're the ones who trusted that their future was more valuable than their temporary emotions. They're the ones who made a decision that pain would not scare them away from purpose. You have that same ability inside you. You have that same strength. It's not hidden. It's not locked away. It's waiting for you to choose it when the road gets hard. It's waiting for you to stand up when everything in you wants to sit down. It's waiting for you to keep believing when the world offers every reason to doubt. Do not quit on your future. Do not quit on your potential. Do not quit on the life you've been working so hard to build. Push harder. Push with more belief than you've ever had. Push knowing that every step forward, no matter how small, is shaping the person you're becoming. You will never regret pushing through when it mattered most. You will never regret choosing resilience over surrender. You will never regret betting on yourself when everyone else expects you to fold. But if you quit now, you'll carry the weight of wondering what could have been. You'll carry the regret of knowing you were closer than you thought. You owe it to yourself to see how far you can go. You owe it to yourself to discover what you're capable of. You owe it to the dream inside you to fight harder when you feel like quitting. This is where it happens. This is where real strength is born. This is where futures are built. Push harder, hold the line, keep moving. Your future self will thank you every single day for not quitting when it was hard. It is the wisdom to understand that unseen growth is still growth. That unseen progress is still progress. Those unseen victories are still victories. Every day you show up is a deposit into your future. Every time you choose discipline over ease, you're investing in a life that will eventually show its reward. You do not have to see the results today to trust that they're on their way. You do not have to feel progress every second to know you're building something great. Trust the work you're doing. Trust the habits you're forming. Trust the character you're shaping. Trust the vision you're protecting. Trust that your time is coming. If you refuse to quit during the silent seasons, you'll discover the truth. The ones who make it are the ones who outlast the invisible days. They are the ones who stay consistent long after the excitement wears off. They are the ones who build quietly, while others give up because they can't see immediate rewards. The future belongs to the patient. The rewards belong to the consistent. The victory belongs to those who trust their process. Even when nothing seems to change, keep showing up, keep doing the work, keep believing even when the world offers no guarantees. Because you're not working for temporary applause, you're working for permanent transformation. Stay the course. Trust the process. The invisible work you're doing today is building a future so real, so powerful, that one day it will be impossible for the world not to see it. Chapter 9. Stay locked in on your vision until you win. When you start a journey towards something bigger, the world will test you. Distractions will come, doubts will come, obstacles you never expected will show up. It's easy to stay focused when everything's going right. It's harder when things get messy. That's why your vision has to be stronger than your emotions. You must lock into your vision so tightly that nothing can pull you away from it. You must hold your vision with a grip so strong that even the worst days can't loosen it. Your vision is the picture of the life you're building. It's not something you look at once and forget. It's something you keep alive in your mind every single day. If you don't keep it in front of you, life will bury it. The noise will drown it out. The demands of the world will distract you from it. You can't afford to let that happen. Your vision is your responsibility to protect. Staying locked in on your vision means choosing it again and again. Choosing it when you're tired. Choosing it when you're discouraged. Choosing it when quitting feels easier. Your vision must direct your time, your energy, your focus, your attitude. Most people don't fail because their dreams were impossible. They fail because they lost sight of their dreams when things got tough. They allowed fear to cloud their vision. They allowed short-term emotions to dictate long-term choices. They allowed outside opinions to shake their inner clarity. If you're serious about winning, you must refuse to let anything outside of you dilute the vision inside of you. See it so clearly that it becomes more real than your current reality. Believe in it so deeply that temporary setbacks can't shake your faith. Hold on to it so tightly that even when nobody else sees it, you keep building toward it without hesitation. Your vision must become part of who you are. Not something you talk about when you feel inspired, but something you commit to when you feel nothing at all. When motivation fades, when the road gets long, when rewards are slow, it's your loyalty to the vision that keeps you moving. Every decision you make either brings you closer to your vision or pulls you further away. There is no neutral ground. Every hour you spend, every conversation you entertain, every habit you cultivate, every action you take, it's either feeding your vision or feeding your distractions. You must decide which one matters more. Staying locked in requires discipline. It requires saying no to good things so you can say yes to the best things. It requires ignoring the voices that tell you to settle. It requires rejecting the comfort that tries to slow you down. Remind yourself daily why you started and why it matters. People won't always understand your vision. They'll question it. They'll doubt it. They'll offer you safer alternatives. You must be able to stand strong when nobody else claps for you. You must be able to walk alone, if necessary. Because if your belief in your vision depends on the approval of others, you'll never reach it. You're not building your dream for applause. You're building it because it's who you're meant to become. Because it's the life you were created to live. Anything less would be a betrayal of your own potential. There will be days when the gap between where you are and where you want to be feels overwhelming. There will be seasons when progress is so slow It feels invisible. Those are the times when locking into your vision matters most. Those are the times when you must see with your heart what your eyes cannot yet see. Locking into your vision is not passive, it's active, it's deliberate, it's intentional. It means waking up every morning and setting your mind on the future you're creating. It means guarding your thoughts, your conversations, your environment, so nothing contaminates the clarity of your purpose. Not every voice deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your energy. Not every distraction deserves your time. Create an environment that reminds you daily of who you are and where you're going. There will be setbacks. There will be failures. There will be disappointments. That's part of the process. Expect it. Prepare for it. But never allow it to redefine your vision. Don't shrink your dreams to fit temporary circumstances. Don't let short-term pain convince you to abandon long-term greatness. When it gets hard, don't lower your standards. When it gets lonely, don't question your path. When it gets slow, don't doubt your ability. Stay locked in, stay committed, stay focused on the life you said you wanted, when you were clear, when you were brave, when you knew why it mattered. The ones who win aren't the ones with the fewest problems. They're the ones who refuse to be distracted by them. They're the ones who keep their eyes on the prize, even when storms surround them. They're the ones who stay steady, while everyone else is shaken. You must become unshakable. You must become immovable. You must become so locked in that no rejection, no failure, no delay can make you quit. Burn it into your heart. Quitting is not an option. Settling is not an option. Doubting yourself is not an option. Every day you stay locked in, you're building momentum. Every day you stay focused, you're gaining ground. Every day you stay loyal to your vision, you're separating yourself from the crowd. It might not show today, it might not show tomorrow, but one day, the world will see what you refused to stop building. The life you want is on the other side of consistent focus. The dreams you have are on the other side of relentless commitment. The person you're meant to become is waiting on the other side of unwavering belief. Refuse to be moved by temporary emotions. Refuse to be distracted by temporary struggles. Refuse to be pulled away by temporary pleasures. Hold steady. Stand tall. Move forward, even if you have to crawl. Stay locked in on your vision until you win. Not until you're tired. Not until you're bored. Not until it's uncomfortable. Until you win. Until you're standing inside the life you once only dreamed of. That's the mindset it takes. That's the commitment it demands. That's the price you must be willing to pay. And when you pay it, you'll know it was worth it. Every sacrifice, every lonely night, every unseen effort, every tear, every rejection, every moment you choose discipline over ease. Stay locked in, stay true, stay unbreakable until you win. Chapter 10. Rise again. Every time you fall or feel lost, life will knock you down. It is not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. No matter how strong you are, no matter how prepared you think you are, there will be moments when you stumble. There will be days when your plans fall apart. There will be seasons where everything feels uncertain. In those moments, your true strength is revealed, not by how perfectly you avoid falling, but by how many times you are willing to rise again. Falling is not failure. Staying down or feeling lost is not weakness. Giving up on yourself is. Every champion, every leader, every person who built something meaningful had to learn how to rise again. When they felt defeated, they had to rebuild their courage. When their confidence was broken, they had to find their footing. When the ground underneath them shifted. Rising again is not about pretending you were never hurt. It is about refusing to let the hurt stop you. When you fall, your mind will offer you two paths. One path says, stay down, protect yourself, do not try again. The other path says, stand up, move forward. Trust that this is not where your story ends. The easy path will always be to give up. The stronger path will always be to rise. Every time you rise again, you are making a decision about the kind of life you will live. You are deciding whether you will be defined by defeat or by resilience. It is not a shame to fall. It is not a shame to lose your way. The shame is in refusing to fight back. The shame is in believing that one fall means you are not worthy. The truth is, every fall is a test of your hunger, your discipline, your heart. Every setback is asking you one question: how bad do you really want it? If you are serious about building the life you dream of, you must get used to getting up when it would be easier to stay down. You must get used to feeling lost and still taking action. You must get used to being confused and still moving forward. Clarity is not always instant. Strength is not always obvious. Sometimes you build both by simply refusing to quit. The people you admire, the ones you see winning, they fell too. They had days when they wanted to disappear. They had moments when they questioned their worth. They had seasons when nothing made sense. But they kept getting up. They kept trusting that forward motion, even the smallest step, would lead them back to purpose, back to strength, back to victory. There will be times when the fall hurts more than you expected. There will be times when the road back feels longer than you thought. That is not the time to abandon your dreams. That is not the time to rewrite your vision. That is the time to rise, dust yourself off, and remember who you are. That is the time to reclaim your focus and take the next step. Even if you are limping, rising again does not mean pretending everything is fine. It means facing the pain, learning from it, and refusing to be destroyed by it. It means acknowledging the loss, but refusing to lose yourself in it. It means standing in the middle of your broken plans and building new ones with whatever pieces you have left. It means believing that your future is still worth fighting for, even when today feels heavy. There will be moments when you do not feel strong enough to rise. That is okay. Strength is not about never feeling weak. Strength is about acting despite the weakness. Strength is about choosing action when your emotions are telling you to quit. Strength is about showing up to fight for your life. Even when you do not feel like a fighter, you have to understand that your journey will not be a straight line. It will be full of twists, setbacks, wrong turns, unexpected storms. That does not mean you are failing. That does not mean you are broken. That means you are living. That means you are growing. That means you are doing the real work of building a meaningful life. You must give yourself permission to be human, to fall, to feel lost, to doubt. And then, you must give yourself the responsibility to rise anyway, to take the lessons, to adjust the plan, to harden your resolve. You are not supposed to be perfect. You are supposed to be resilient. You are supposed to be relentless. You are supposed to be someone who does not back down from the hard parts of life. When you rise after a fall, you send a message to the world. You say, I am not done. I am not finished. I am not broken beyond repair. I am still standing. I am still building. I am still believing. You send a message to yourself that you are trustworthy, that you can count on yourself when it matters most, that no matter how rough it gets, you will not abandon your future. You are not defined by your falls. You are defined by your rise. You are defined by the courage it takes to stand back up. You are defined by the decision to keep going when quitting would be easier. You are defined by your ability to turn pain into power, setbacks into setups, loss into leadership. Every time you rise again, you build more than your goals. You build your soul. You build a level of grit that will carry you through every future storm. You build an inner fire that cannot be put out by the winds of disappointment. You build a reputation with yourself that says, no matter what happens, I will find my way back. You do not need to have all the answers to rise again. You do not need to have the perfect plan. You simply need to decide that the story is not over yet. You simply need to trust that, as long as you are breathing, you have another move to make. You have another chapter to write. You have another victory to earn. There will be times when you rise quietly. No celebration, no audience, just you, your determination, and your belief that your life still matters. Those are the rises that count the most. Those are the rises that transform you into someone unstoppable. You will rise from every fall if you choose to. You will find your way through every confusion if you keep moving. You will rebuild stronger every time life tries to tear you down. If you refuse to stay broken, your dreams are still alive. Your future is still possible. Your strength is still growing. Rise again. Rise tired. Rise scared. Rise uncertain. Rise bruised. Rise confused. But rise, because every rise is a victory. Every rise is a step closer to the life you are capable of living. Every rise is proof that you are not done yet. You are still in the fight. You are still writing your story. You are still becoming the person you were born to be. And the world has not seen the best of you yet. Rise again.